I remember the day my whole life was stolen in a single breath. The house I designed, decorated, and called home was sold right out from under me to pay for my sister's fairy tale wedding. And the worst part? They didn't even tell me. I came home to strangers walking through my living room. If you've ever been betrayed by family, hit subscribe, like, and share this story. I pulled up with a box of cupcakes, thinking I'd surprise my parents. There was a moving truck at the gate. A man walked up to me and said, "You must be Kay, right? We bought this place from your parents. Congrats, great deal." My hand started to shake. 3 years of saving my dream home gone. I ran inside to find Mom and Dad casually packing photo frames. "What's happening?" I demanded. Mom didn't even look up. "Sweetheart, calm down. We sold the house to pay for your sister's wedding. You can stay with us until you find something else." My heart broke in a way words can't fix. My sister Amanda swept in, wearing the designer dress from her wish list, smiling as if nothing had happened. "Kay, don't be dramatic. You're single anyway, what do you need a whole house for?" she scoffed. That night I smiled through the wedding, pretending to be the poor, overlooked sister. But inside I made a promise. I wouldn't just get another house. I would build everything they said I couldn't have. What they didn't know was that the house was legally registered to my business, K Designs LLC. I'd built an online home design business quietly, smartly, and everything was in my name. I gathered evidence, hired a lawyer, and waited for the right moment. 3 months later, Amanda returned from her honeymoon and the cracks began to show. The bank froze the wedding fund after finding irregular signatures on the property sale. Amanda called me, panicked. "Kay, they're saying I owe $380,000. I don't understand." I kept my face blank and let her panic. Then Mom called, furious and frantic. "You can't let this happen." I finally told the truth. "Mom, that house was mine. You sold it illegally." The paperwork, the forged signatures, the illegal transfer, everything came to light. Suddenly the family rule of family comes first had a very different soundtrack. I didn't scream or seek instant revenge. I planned, I proved my case, and I held my ground. The lesson wasn't just about getting the house back. It was about making them see the damage of what they did. I wanted them to feel the cost of taking someone's life and memories and treating them like bargaining chips. If you've ever been betrayed by the people closest to you, you're not alone. Subscribe, like, and share this story because sometimes the quiet ones are the ones who build the loudest comebacks. Silence stretched across the line, heavy and suffocating. Then my dad's voice broke through, trembling. "Kay, we didn't know." I cut him off sharply. "Oh, you knew. You just didn't care." That night, Amanda appeared at my door, tears streaking her makeup, her old arrogance replaced by desperation. "Kay, please help me. I'm going to lose everything." I looked at her, remembering the way she had mocked me when my first business failed, how she laughed as she told everyone I decorated houses just to make ends meet. And now she was begging me to save her. What I said next silenced her. Her jaw dropped. "Work for you? Are you insane?" She spat, disbelief dripping from every word. I leaned back, unshaken. "No. I'm giving you the same chance you stole from me, the chance to rebuild. The difference? This time you're rebuilding my empire." Amanda's eyes darted around my office. Glass walls, golden plaques, the logo she had once mocked glowing on the wall. K Designs LLC. "You're joking," she whispered. I handed her a contract. Full-time assistant designer, minimum wage. Every paycheck would go straight toward repaying her debt. "I'll even deduct it automatically," I added, calm and firm. Her face went pale. "Kay, please, we're sisters." I said quietly but with ice in my voice, "Yes. And you sold my dream house for a party. So tell me, are we sisters or is this just business?" Tears welled in her eyes. She signed. My parents begged me to reconsider, but I refused. They needed to understand the weight of their actions, not through revenge but through responsibility. For 6 months Amanda worked under me. The girl who once flaunted a perfect life online now handled furniture orders, ran errands, and answered client calls. Office whispers followed her every move, but I stayed silent, letting the quiet speak for itself. Then one evening I noticed she had stayed late, sketching quietly at her desk. Her work was good. Really good. For a fleeting moment, I glimpsed the sister I had once dreamed of collaborating with. The one untainted by greed or envy. When she realized I was watching, she froze. "Don't worry," she muttered. "I'll finish paying off my debt before you fire me." I said nothing and walked away. That night something shifted. Maybe this wasn't about revenge anymore. Maybe it was the start of her understanding. The story didn't end there. The next morning my parents arrived at my office uninvited, holding papers that threatened everything I had built. My heart sank. "What do you mean, take back my company name?" I asked, my voice taut with barely restrained fury. Dad crossed his arms, smirking. "We helped you register the company years ago. You were new to business, so you used our address and my ID. Technically, we can claim partial ownership, unless..." He glanced at Amanda. "You cancel her debt." Amanda's eyes pleaded, full of guilt. "Dad, please." But he silenced her with a glare. "Enough. Family doesn't sue family. Kay should remember who raised her." The words hit harder than any slap. These were the same parents who sold my house without hesitation, who laughed when I struggled, who now thought they could claim my success. I looked down at the papers, a desperate, hollow attempt at control. They had no idea I had quietly re-registered the company 6 months ago under my lawyer's address. Every signature, every copyright, every document was mine. I smiled, calm and cold. "You're right, Dad," I said. "Family doesn't sue family." He smiled, thinking he had the upper hand. "Good," I said, interrupting him as I slid another document across the table. "But business doesn't play favorites. And right now, you're trespassing on company property." Mom's face drained of color. "Kay, how could you do this to us?" I leaned forward, eyes sharp. "How could you do this to me? You sold my home, belittled my dreams, and now you're here trying to take my company. You didn't raise me. You raised my limits." Amanda broke down, tears streaking her face. "Kay, I didn't know they would go this far." Dad's voice thundered, cutting through the room. "Enough of this drama." He stormed out, slamming the door so hard it rattled the walls. Mom followed, muttering something about my ingratitude. The room fell silent, except for Amanda's quiet sobs. I said nothing. For the first time I saw her truly broken, not from pride but from the weight of her own mistakes. She looked up at me, voice trembling. "I'll pay every penny back, even if it takes years. I owe you that." I wanted to believe her. Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. It was my lawyer. "Kay, you might want to check your account. Something significant just happened." I stared at the screen, heart pounding. A transfer had gone through. $380,000 from Amanda directly into my business account. I couldn't catch my breath. I called her immediately. "Amanda, what did you do? Where did that money come from?" Her voice was calm but weary. "I sold the wedding jewelry, my designer dresses, the car Dad bought me. I wanted to do this the right way, Kay. You were right. I didn't deserve any of it." I was speechless. I had imagined this moment countless times, her regret, my vindication, but standing here now, it didn't feel like revenge. Felt like closure. A few days later, Amanda came to my office. No makeup, no fancy outfits. Just Amanda. Vulnerable, honest, and real. "You don't have to forgive me," she whispered. "I just needed to show I'm not the person who took your dream house." I stayed quiet, then reached into my drawer and pulled out an envelope. "This is your contract termination," I said, watching her face fall until I added, "And this is your new one as my partner." Her gasp filled the room. "Partner? Are you serious?" I nodded. "You've paid back every cent, Amanda. Now it's time to rebuild together. This time with honesty." Tears welled in her eyes as she embraced me. And for the first time in years it felt genuine. Not family drama, not pretense. Family. Months later, we reopened the studio together. Our new campaign, Sisters of Design, showcased the story of two sisters who turned betrayal into success. We even bought back the dream house, brick by brick, with our names carved into the deed. At the grand reopening, my parents watched quietly from the back. When I handed my dad the mic, his eyes softened. The applause was loud, but the lesson was louder. Some things money can't buy, but lessons sure can. Amanda squeezed my hand, and in that moment I realized something crucial. Revenge may feel satisfying, but redemption endures. That house they sold to hurt me, it became the foundation of who I was truly meant to be. They say never underestimate the quiet ones. Often, they're silently building an empire while everyone else is distracted.